Hey fellow dirt roaders, this is Rick with Dirt Road Bushcraft. I'm out here in the woods today with the goal of going up and setting up some trail cams. I'm going to leave them here for the summer. It's mid-June now, and I'll probably be back up into September, October sometime to collect them and see what's on them. I've set up 3 trail cams. The last one I set up, I baited it with some sardine oil from a can of sardines, and I'm going to see what comes in on it, see if get anything other than bears. So your rotors, I'm back, and I'm going to talk about my gear that I carry with me when I'm out here trekking around the woods and stuff. And so let me start with what I carry in my pocket, and a map of the area. I carry a pocket knife, and I carry a lighter, and my lighter is enhanced. I have on my lighter, I have in here is some jute twine that has been dipped in beeswax, and I can light this jute line, and I can take and extend the string out, light it, and it burns like a candle, and I can stick it into a fire to get a fire going instead of trying to use my lighter, which will melt the tip and mess everything up here. I can also cut sections it off and use it as a tinder to help start a fire. I also have on here sport tape, athletic tape, and this athletic tape, it serves a few purposes. One is as a first aid. If I sprain an ankle or something, I can wrap my ankle with this. The other thing is that it does is it's also a fire starter. This stuff burns really good. Underneath this, I have some bank line. It's 3-strand twisted bank line, and it's I have about 6 or 8 feet of it wrapped around here, and for string, twine, whatever, there's a million uses for it. And then on the bottom I have Gorilla Tape. The Gorilla Tape is flammable, also I can use it for basic repair, first aid, and so this is what I carry in my pocket along with my knife and map of the area I'm in. I also carry my cell phone, my smartphone, which has an app on it called OnX, and I use that to help with land navigation. It works really good for me. I also keep in here a pair of reading glasses, because at my age you need glasses sometimes. And then I have my wallet and ID, I carry with me. So, that's what I carry on my person. For him. That's what I carry in my pockets. In my pack now, what I have set up, I have a knife right here. The reason I carry a knife up here is defensive, is that if something happens and I need to defend myself, it's easier to come up here, pull my knife, and I'm ready, than it is to be reaching behind, fumbling around. Now I'm vulnerable. So up here I'm in a defensive position. Back down here I'm wide open, and I carry a knife on my strap. I carry handheld GPS, but this is my 3rd form of navigation. I have my app on my phone, I have my map, I have my GPS, I also have my compass. So I have redundancy in my land navigation. I carry in here is a Vortex monocular. This is just for sightseeing, If I see something interesting, you know, like maybe something that I could use, edible mushrooms or wild edible plants or a chunk of fat wood, then I can, you know, instead of having to trek over there, I can pull this out and just look. Or if I see a deer or elk or something and they don't see me, then I can check them out. So I keep a monocular up here. Pair of gloves. I always use a pair of gloves. This is a folding pad. I can use it for sitting down. I can use it for kneeling on, which I do use. Here's a harvest bag. My harvest bag, I use it for collecting tinder. If I'm planning on making a fire or something, I'll collect tinder as I'm going along and I'll stuff it in here. Or if I'm coming across mushrooms or something like that, then I'll go ahead and put them in here. So this is my harvest bag. Inside of my pouch, this is a this is a twig burning stove. This is, you put all these components together and you can pick up small twigs and stuff and you can create fire in here. I like using this instead of making a fire on the ground, because if I make a ground fire, campfire type of thing, I have to stay there until it is completely dead, no heat, no nothing. I have to use water and stuff on there, and water is precious when, you know, when you're out here. So I don't want to make a ground fire. I keep in here a water filter. I have a bag in here that works with the filter. So I can go to a creek and I can dip water out. I can screw this onto here and I can filter the water back into my canteen. My canteen is made out of stainless steel, and with the stainless steel I can boil water, I can heat water. I keep some instant coffee in my pack. If something happens and I end up staying the night, a cup of coffee adds a creature comfort that I don't think can be beat. And then I have a fire making kit here, which contains flint and steel, ferro rod, magnifying glass. It has a lighter, has some accelerant. These are face pads that are dipped in wax, and the wax has also charcoal lighter fluid mixed with it. I have video on making it with laundry lint. There's my ferro rod. I keep another lighter in here that's wrapped up the same as the one that I keep in my pocket. And this is that jute string. So it can reach in without having to burn up my lighter doing so. These little straws, they have stuff inside of it, cotton that's saturated with Vaseline. This burns like you wouldn't believe. One of these will probably burn for 10 minutes. So these are great fire starters. Keep a headlamp. This is another lighter. This gives me reach too, and it doesn't have a flint on it, so this will work when it gets a little damp out. It also lets me extend a little bit. I have another little flashlight. I have some snack items, some food items in here. I have some cordage and a pocket knife. So I have some cordage in here to help build a shelter if I need to put up a shelter. I have here, this is a rain poncho. This rain poncho also has grommets around the edges of it, so I can open it up and use it to build a shelter. I can build almost like a little tent with it. And then out here in these woods, we have what's called sword fern. And the sword fern, if you take and you cut enough of it up and you build a foot thick bed, you can lay on top of that, use the tarp as a lean-to shelter or some type of overhead shelter, make a fire in front of you, and you're going to be comfortable for the night. And you know, you have a good chance of surviving. And the other two items that I take with me are my two dogs. They definitely are part of my survival gear. They are early warning systems for me because my hearing's not that great, and you know, it's just part of getting old. And then, you know, they also will give warmth and that and companionship. So, you know, they're part of my survival out here. The other is I have a heavy knife. This one I made myself. This is probably one of the best bush knives I've ever had. It has enough strength to it. The back of it is squared off so I can strike my ferro rod with it. This thing holds an edge like you wouldn't believe. I can chop with it. I can do fine cutting with it. I can take and drill into a piece of wood with it. This is has been really a good knife. And I took, after I forged this knife and hardened it the way I wanted it, I took and then cryo-treated it. That's where you get dry ice and you put alcohol in it. You bust up the dry ice, you put like alcohol in it, and I used, I think, vodka and mixed alcohol in it. I put this in the oven at 400 degrees, take it out of the oven and just drop it right into that dry ice. And this steel, it'll squeal and screech, and then, but when it's done, the steel is very stabilized. The hardness has gone up on it, and this thing, I said, takes a beating. It holds a good edge, and so, anyways, that's my favorite knife, and I named it Rosie after my wife. Heck, I almost forgot. The other thing I keep in here is up here. I keep some rubber gloves. There's a mosquito repellent bracelet, toilet paper, and these are a cloth you put some water on and they expand out. I keep a first aid kit in here. I've got aspirins and bandages. Yeah, almost forgot about that stuff. It's in one of those places where you put it away and forget about it until you actually need it, and then you're glad you have it.